Episode 12. This is Dandin and the RJ Machismo podcast. My partner RJ won't be here tonight, but tonight we got a special guest here today, all the way from the DMV. We got Wole Akinso. He is the host of Urban Sports Team. He also is with Fox Sports 1340 AM for the Skins podcast, and also with Sports Journey. How you doing today, Wole?
I'm good, man. Blessed, Danny. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it, man. This is all love, man. I really do. I really do. This is a blessing to be on this show, man. We talk to each other on Twitter. We shoot the breeze, and now I'm here.
Right. So like it's crazy. Like I connected with Wole. It's a short story. Like just through social media, and then we are fans of the Washington football team.
Football team.
So I got my shirt on. It's cool. So yeah, we connected with Wole. Me and RJ, we were blown away with your work at Urban Sports Team. And you guys, like, how many episodes are you guys on right now?
Man, we have like 422 right now. Our last show is 422. Yeah. We're going on 423 on Tuesday.
Exactly. Yeah, and they do a lot of great stuff. They just had Walt Williams. Definitely check them out on the Apple Podcast and Stitcher and all the pod media stuff. So yeah, thank you so much, Wally. I hope everything's well. How's everything going with the lockdown over there in the DMV?
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's bad for a lot of things, obviously, but for me, it's been a blessing, man. I have a lot of thinking in life. Like I'm getting things done. Podcast wise, I'm getting things done. Physically, I'm improved. You know what I mean? I have arthritis in my knee, but ever since I dropped weight, running and whatnot, I'm like that doesn't even bother me anymore. I know I'm aging myself. I say I got arthritis in my knee. I'm still in my 30s, folks. I'm still in my 30s.
There you go.
But yeah, man, I mean, in terms of and I tell anybody, dealing with COVID, like in terms of the shutdown and they're depressed, they haven't been going out as much. There's a good opportunity with the shutdown to really get your thoughts together and improve yourself. This is an opportunity. I know, it's depressing because we're not doing the norm, right? But there's always, within darkness, there's light, you know what I'm saying? So this is an opportunity to improve yourself, you know what I'm saying? So, and what I mean by improving yourself, really take that time to invest in yourself and really break down what you're doing right and magnify it, and what you're doing wrong and magnify it to correct it. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like this is an opportunity for all of us to be better people.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you for, like I said, thanks for having us here tonight. So yeah, we'll just kick it off a little, just a little icebreaker. Tell us more about yourself, Wole.
Well, yeah, man, we started this a while ago. I forget the year, actually. It's sad because we have 422 episodes. But it started off with four of us. It was myself. I can name the members. It doesn't bother me. Myself, Ray, Will, and my boy Fish. So it was an urban sports thing. We came up with an idea because we came up with putting up a podcast. We were listening to the radio. We were like, man, everybody says the same thing. Like, we need a different voice, man. Like folks got to start keeping it 100, and they got to talk to the people around the way. Because you're going to be in the DMV, you got to talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to have a podcast to talk to the people around the way. So we did. If you listen to episode 1, don't shoot me because it wasn't the best episode in the world, but we made it work. But then we just kept with the momentum, and obviously things happen. Some individuals had, they decided, that, it wasn't. They felt, I don't say it wasn't their time, but life happens. Like life happens. So it just became the three of us, and that's Ray, myself, and Will. I call him Will T. And we've been doing it since then. And we have a live show Tuesday at 8 o'clock. www.urbansportscene.com. So you can check us out there. We're on all the podcast platforms. So you name it, we're on there. Also, we have a Skins podcast as well called All Skins Everything. So everybody, if you're from the area, we don't say every, we say
everything.
So All Skins Everything. We talk about all Skins news, all Washington football team. I can say Skins though. I can't say Skins.
You can say Redskins in this podcast. I can't. You're cool. We're not live on. We're not live on AM Sports Talk Radio.
All right, cool, man. You're
off the clock. You're good.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah. So we talk about all Redskins content and whatnot. So we've been doing that, and we've been doing that for a while. We get to go. Ray and I At times, we go to sporting events to cover. We've covered boxing events. We actually had an interview with Gary Russell Jr.
Okay.
Not too long ago when he was talking about Bud Crawford, which is on YouTube if you want to check it out. So yeah, man, we just grinding. We grind like every podcaster, out there. We're grinding. We try and put out good content. If you listen to episode 1, just best believe we're way better than episode 1. So listen to episode 422. You'll see what we're doing.
Yeah, much props to you and your co-host. You guys.
And I like that we're a team. And I want to say we're a team. It's not like one person's bigger than the other. You know what I'm saying? Like just because they're not my co-hosts. We're all co-hosts to us. There's not one main host. We're all co-hosts. You know what I mean? So if you just hear me leading, it's because I have the equipment to kind of lead it. But at the end of the day, we all have the same ideas. We all like in terms of when we coming up with ideas for a show, I get texts about it by the fellas. It's on there. They're ideas. So I'm not the manager of ideas. Now, granted, at times I do put out a lot of the ideas and content, but anytime somebody has an idea, we're throwing it out there. So it's not like I'm not the leader. I'll never like to view myself as the leader of the urban sports thing. That's not the way I do things. We're a team.
Oh yeah. Team first and foremost, right? Everybody.
All the time, man. All the time. Yeah. LeBron. That's why LeBron James is one of my favorite basketball players in today's NBA. You get everybody involved. Everybody eats. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. If you wanted to, if you want to score 30, you can score 30. But as long as you pass that ball off, then you're allowing everybody to eat, then you're good. And the same thing here. Everybody eats. Everybody works together.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, great to know about that. So Wole, how did you get into the sports media business?
Oh man, like how did I get started? Like in the sports media, basically it's from the podcast. To be real with you, like so, basically it's the same. Like so, what happened was we started our podcast, then we got hooked up, and I'm giving everybody credit.
Sure.
We got hooked up with this I guess you would call it like a internet radio company, called Eyes Radio, and it was owned by Tom Block, and he was running it. And I think he had 106.7 The Fan connections and whatnot. So it was like, all right, it's pretty cool and pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time us doing it. And he always wanted us to do live podcasts. We do on tape at the time. And I was like, live? I don't know. I'm ready for live, man. I like to be scripted. I don't like public speaking or anything like that. So I get kind of fidgety. So I was like, at that time, I was like, oh no, I don't think I'm ready for live, man. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of pressure. So he eventually got us doing some live stuff, live shows, from where we do live shows at. And then he actually got us doing a show at a restaurant, and we did a show in a restaurant, and it was like, so all right, then we knew, all right, man, this is something we can try to kind of do. So from there, once we got away from that, then we got connected with Fox. I got connected with Fox through a friend of mine I went to college with, and he got me connected with Fox Sports Radio, 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. And we started doing some stuff with them. Then I started doing a show with them for the radio station there called The Soul in Sports with Mike Knotts. And Mike was, really cool. He helped me out, and I helped him out. And then I got connected. So I was working with their program manager, Glenn, and he asked me, hey, do you want to go cover some Washington football team, Redskins, whatever, content? I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. I started going to games. So I used that to help the podcast out, right? So it kind of like built my rapport. Then I, linked up and met certain folks with the media up at games. And then Glenn had let me do Washington Wizard games, so I connected with that. So then I started getting in. You know what I'm saying? I started getting in, and I got Ray, my other podcast homie. I got him in, and we started networking, working our way through. And Ray ended up doing, like, he does Mystic games, he does Wizard games, he does Ray does also there's a public access show that he's on at times. So he does DC Global Games, which is the G League for the Washington Wizards team, the affiliate. So we started grinding, hustling. So that's when we started like kind of. But yeah, from that point, and would you need me to start from a particular place?
No, like I just said, like part of it too, how you got to sports media. It's all about who you know too through networking.
Yeah, so basically it's about who you know in the business. So we got linked up with Lake Lewis, a sports journey, and he pretty much showed me how to work, work the area within the locker room. Like that when you're in the Washington football team, when you're in the locker room, it just teaches you how to work it and who to talk to, how to ask questions. Even when you're in, like you're about to ask a question to the coaches, like how to say it, what to ask and whatnot. So we from that particular point, you kind of get an understanding of the game. So I've always was interested in sports media, to be honest with you. It's always been a thing of mine. I love sports, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's always been a thing of mine. But then once you get started in this whole, and this is the real, but once you get started in this whole sports podcast game, you know what I mean? And you really have a passion for it directly, that's what you're about. You know what I'm saying? Like you're about that. So you're about doing, so any advice, if I give anybody one, will have a passion and a drive. Like, all right, we're going to use sports mentality. We're going to use a sports example, man. You got to have that Mamba mentality. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You got to have that Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
So whatever, if you say it, you gotta believe it. You're gonna do it. You gotta show that action. So that's what it's about. And you can't just half-ass it. You gotta really do it. You know what I'm saying? So and then you can't be scared of rejection, man. Like you can't be scared of rejection. Yeah. Like if you get rejected, like you trying to get so on your show, and you thinking, man, he gonna say no. Like you already lost, bro. You already lost. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like be like, all right, on to the next one. On to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be in your feelings. All right, don't be in your feelings. Like that's like you gotta be immune to it. Or you gotta be immune to it. Once you get immune to it, and once you just like, you know what, forget it. On to the next one. I'm about to make this move. You're good.
Yeah. So like we were saying that that's part of the business where people say no. Is there any other obstacles that you face in your line of sports media where you had some challenges?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I have obstacles with, to be honest with you, I think initially when you were covering covering games and you're in the locker room and you're trying to ask questions, and whatnot, it's just to make sure you're confident in your voice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's an obstacle, like because you're different. Like now you've been a person who's been a spectator, been watching this game. You know what I'm saying? These players are like, I'm saying like being a fan, but you enjoy watching these dudes play. Now, or women, because it'd be WNBA games, and now you have to be in a locker room, get ready to ask them a question. You're like, damn, I mean, I don't want to ask no dumb question. I mean, like I do want to ask a question, but I don't want it to be redundant. But I should ask a question, right? I should ask when I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of knowing your voice, and then also, thinking of a question to ask, and a real question. Don't ask a question just to ask a question. Like, think of a real question. I mean, for me, football is a little different. I can kind of wing it. Football, I can wing it. You know what I'm saying? If I don't, like, I can ask a question. The thing that when I'm doing this, when I do basketball games, I'm more basketball than anything. Like, I know my football, I'm more basketball than anything. So I remember, like, I had, like, Melo. So I had Melo, the Blazers. It was like, it was this season. And I'm like, Melo's here. I'm going to ask Melo a question. It's Melo, man. It's Melo. We talking. I know basketball. Like, I'm good with this. And then I'm thinking, like, all right. Because I met other people ahead of me. And I'm like, dang, come on, ask it now. Ask it now. Like, you just think, like, ask the question now. And then I finally get there. And it's like, I asked the right question, but it's not like the question, not the way I wanted to ask. Because I know, for me, Melo, it's all about him being a scorer. He has like the jab series, triple threat, for folks who don't know, like the triple threat series, and that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he had at that time Troy Brown was checking him, and I did ask him. I finally kind of warmed up to it, and I did ask him. I was like, so when you had Troy Brown on you, and he was defense, he was getting ready. He was in defense position. You know what I mean? And you was already on your Melo jab series. You were ready for it. You were already on the Melo jab series. Like, and I asked him, like, do you feel like it's disrespectful when somebody tries to get in defense position, like he's trying to take on this challenge and play you a certain way? Do you think that's disrespectful? Because it's Troy Brown. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's Avery Bradley. It's Troy. It's a young boy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a young boy. Do you look at him like, yeah, I'm about to get this dude to work. You know what I mean? I didn't say it the way I wanted to say it, but I said it. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you talking, that's how I wanted to say it. Like I wanted to be street though. I wanted it to come out that way.
Yeah.
But that's a challenge of mine. Like, trying to be professional, but I do want to be real. Like, I want to be real to my demographic, and I want to be real to especially as a dude who does hoop and I coach. Like, I want to be real to that genre. You know what I mean? I want to be real to that genre. So, like, when we talk basketball, I want to be like a hooper. Like, I want to talk like a hooper. But then again, it's like you're wearing a suit, you're wearing a hat, you trying to be clean. Then it's like, all right, I gotta be professional. because you look professional, you gotta try to be professional. But now I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, that's not me for real. But another challenge also for me in terms of the podcast game is like doing live events, doing live shows is a challenge at times because when you're going live, anything can happen. We talked off here. I told you, like there's an ex Washington football team player that I used to have, like that I've had on my show before. But this individual, and it's a live show, well, no show. And when somebody no shows on live show, it messes up the whole thing because you're waiting for them. You're on break, so you're making a call to try to get connected to the person, or the person's supposed to call you at this time, and they don't call you. Or if they do make it on, they call you like 30 minutes late, and you already got your show kind of scheduled. Like, oh man, you calling me now? Like, come on, man.
That throws
I
it
gotta
off.
change topics.
Yeah.
You throwing me off. So that's a challenge.
So basically, in a nutshell, preparation is key
Oh yeah.
in your line of business.
Oh man, for real, it's very key. And I think in anything preparation is key. Like some people like to do things freestyle, like the freestyle stuff. Like I've been on a show that people freestyle. We used to do freestyle shows. It was terrible. That's what I'm telling you. Like episodes one, like you need structure, and I mean by like you don't have to have things scripted, but you need structure to kind of like, okay, we gotta talk about this at this time or this that. At least something that you can go off of, and now your show will have something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like preparation is everything. Like you don't want to have a show just because for instance, just because a topic is trendy, like you may not, if you don't know anything about it, don't talk about it. Like I'm a firm believer, don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like just because it's trendy and it sound good, but if you don't know anything about it, if you didn't do your research don't talk about it because it's terrible. It's the worst. It really is. Like, and you hear it, and I'm sure you hear it too at times. Like when you listen to a radio show or a podcast, and you can tell when somebody don't know anything about it. Like you can tell. Like you listening to it, you're like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying it just because it's cool to say. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
For me, I think like make sure if you're going to talk about something, make sure you study it, you read up on it enough that it can carry you through a segment. You know what I'm saying? And then once you do that, then you're good. If you won't do any research and you want to be lazy that day, unless you got a guest that can ride that show out, ride that segment out, bruh, don't do nothing. Just hold it off for the next week to do your research.
That's true. Those are gems, man. Those are definitely gems that you just drop. Especially for newbies like me and RJ. We still we're still trying to find that. We are comfortable in like talking about
That's the best thing.
Yeah, but also structure is major key. Like you want to make sure you stay on the topic, and preparation is also key as well. So like I said, I think in time, like you said, from 1 through episode 423, it's like night and day. Like it's just from rookie to like a 10-year vet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you want it to be organic too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like so you can go off script if it's organic. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool. Like there's moments where you're like, hey, this is going too good. We can't stop this conversation. And now you may look on your outline or whatever you have, and you're like, yeah, we're supposed to be here. At this time, you're like, yo, this conversation is where it's at.
Yeah.
Like, nah, we're gonna scrap that. Like, we're gonna scrap that. Like for real, like you have guests that sometimes you're just vibing. You know what I mean? Like you're just vibing. And you may like, hey, we're supposed to be done at this time. Like I like to have segments, 10 minutes per segment, typically. That's why like 10 minutes or 15, 8. Yeah, I try, but it doesn't always work that way. But like if this person is like giving you gems, then it's like, no, you know what? We good. Because Monty, I'll give you an example. Monty Williams, we had the last one. Monty Williams, the Phoenix Suns head coach from Prince George's County. And we have a PG basketball series documentary. But he was supposed to be 20 minutes. And that was supposed to be a segment on the show. It wasn't supposed to be the whole show. But he was so good, it was like, we're done. Show.
Yeah, and that was a great episode. Me and RJ listened to it. Can you tell the audience like what he told you when you're like looking at the minutes or like winding down, like what
okay, so I'll tell you. So I'll give you the story. So before the show, Coach Williams, I gotta give people respect. Coach Williams was like, he has 20 minutes to do the show. That's it, 20 minutes. All right, so it's cool. I was like, that's actually around the average, so I'm good with that. So he was like, so we get to the middle. I say we're at the 12-minute mark. I text Ray, say, Ray, hey, we got about a good 10, 8, 10 minutes left, bro. Like we're gonna have to wrap this show up. So he tells the message to Coach Williams. He says, Coach Williams, I know I know you got, I know you got things to do, and I know you're a little short on time with us. And he cuts him off and say, nah, man, we can keep going, brother, keep going. This PG County, I got all love for PG County. And from there, it was like, oh, man, we were like, what? We were like, oh, he got love for us now. Like, I felt the love through that statement. I was like, all right, man, like, this is where it's at. That's when I knew, like, hey, this is going to be the only segment for the show. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. You know
Definitely,
what I mean? Yeah, so, but it was love, man. And, he was saying some real stuff, because it's funny. We had, like you mentioned, we had Walt Williams on the show. And, Walt talked about Coach Williams, how is a guy he looked to playing against in the neighborhood. And, we talked about Walt Williams to Coach Monty Williams. And, Coach Monty Williams was talking about, yeah, man, he looked up to Walt Williams. And if folks don't know, Walt the Wizard Williams, who went to the University of Maryland, he was a lottery pick too for the Sacramento Kings. But in the same draft as Shaquille O'Neal, Alonzo Mourning, that draft, he was in the same draft for those individuals. But Walt was like, so Monty was like, Coach Williams was like, was like, you know what? Yeah, I looked up the Walt, you know what I mean? But he said this Walt had the meanest shape up, cut, period. He was the freshest dude, period. He was PG all the way through. High socks and his shoes. He said his kicks were shoes, but he said Walt was fresh. You know what I mean? And I died laughing because, being from the area, that's what, a lot of people, that's what it was about, having that fresh cut. And the sneaker game had to be on point. And you know about the sneaker game because I've seen your pod. So I listened to the pod. So I know you know about the sneaker game. So, yeah, man, Walt was like, my Coach Williams was putting out gems, man. I felt the PG love. And with him, it was just like, it was all, because we have this, like I said, we have this PG Ballers series on our pod where we try to get, a baller, historian, coach from Prince George's County. And, what I liked about Coach Williams' interview, it captured the essence of what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's was in the NBA, a good NBA coach. It's a good NBA coach. And now, he comes back and he talks about Prince George's County and what it meant to him. You know what I'm saying? His experience. And he talks about people that people don't know about that hooped with him. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it magic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a great that was like one of the nice podcasts you guys did. So nice segue to that. So who are the athletes you interviewed in person or on your radio that you enjoyed? In
person. I'm gonna give you in person. One of my favorite in person interviews. I liked Dame Lillard. I did talk to Dame. I liked Dame. I interviewed Dame because he was real. I liked Karl Anthony Towns. He was real too. Like awesome dude. And this is my favorite one though because I can hit up because he's been on my pod too and I've talked to him in person. Bashard Breeland. It's one of my favorites.
Bashard
Breeland is one of my favorites. He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs now, cornerback. Had him on my show. Spoke to him after Skins games and for interviews. Always answer my questions. And then, when he left, when he was a free agent, I asked him, could he be on my pod? He was like, yeah, I got you. And he was on my pod, and he's been on my pod twice. He went on my pod. I asked him, like, when he's a free agent, did the Washington football team show any interest to him? He was like, we talked, what I'm saying, but it wasn't nothing serious. So he was like, I fooled with Bashard Breeland. Bashard Breeland is a real one. Lack of a better term, he's a real one. Now, in terms of just like podcast interviews, I would say, Gary Russell Jr. is one. He's the WBC featherweight champion. One of my favorite interviews. I like his little brother, and Gary Antoine Russell, Gary Antonio Russell as well. All three of the brothers, they're in the boxing game, and all of them undefeated. Well, Gary's not undefeated. He's the featherweight champion, but Antoine is a high prospect in the welterweight division. Gary Antonio Russell is a bantamweight who's undefeated. So Yeah, they're a great family. We work with them, and we work with them often. But if I had this on the radio recently, it would probably be most of the folks that we've recently have had. Monty's up there. I won't lie to you. Mike Sweetney is one that I do enjoy talking to. Yeah, those are like probably a few that people recognize. But Walt Williams was solid too. Like I like Walt. I like Walt Williams. That was solid. But I mean, we've interviewed some names. Some of them aren't as like aren't as fun to interview. You know what I mean? Not as fun, but aren't as exciting. But I will tell you, like, a dude that he's not here anymore, but a dude that's a cool interview that gives you a great soundbite. Josh Norman was amazing. Like Josh Norman is cool. Like he'll talk to anybody. People may not like Josh Norman, but he'll talk to anybody. Josh Norman, and he will talk. And when I mean talk to you, they're not short-winded answers. They're forever. They go long. They go long. Like Josh Norman, you'd be like, damn. You holding up the mic, he'd be like, damn, arm sore. Arm sore. Yeah. So Josh is pretty dope. Josh is pretty dope. But in terms of fame, I guess I use my most famous person I interviewed that I enjoyed was I guess Melo. Melo was like
Carmelo
because
Anthony.
it was Melo because it's a player that I do respect. You know what I mean? I respect Carmelo. I didn't like how he didn't get an opportunity, to like that. I didn't like that people froze him out in the league. I didn't like that because if you watch basketball, you see so many like not to say everybody in the NBA is talented, but in terms of we're looking at the platform of the NBA, man, Melo is better than a lot of people in the league. A lot of people in the league that are supposed to be just scorers. Like he's better than a lot of people in the league. And I was just like, when he got that opportunity to play with the Blazers, I was so happy for him, and I had to speak to him. But he was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, he is from Baltimore too.
I mean, Baltimore don't count. They're not. Baltimore don't count.
From Bmore.
They don't count, but yeah.
He's not from New York. He's from Baltimore.
Oh, that too. That annoys me. Yeah. Don't get me started. That's a whole different thing. That annoys me too.
That's another topic for a different day.
Yeah, I know it is, man. It really is. Bro, you from Baltimore, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. like for example, like Steve Francis. Oh, Tacoma Park. That's Montgomery County. No, that is PG County back in the day.
Yeah.
We claim Steve Francis.
But you know what? I be saying Moco though. See, I don't know. I'm all for Steve Francis because Tacoma Park is so there's two different sides of Tacoma Park. Like there's the Montgomery side, and you're right, there's the PG side. I don't know. I be thinking like folks be claiming Steve Francis, but I was like, but bro, like you really, I'm off on that one because he was on the dock. He was on the county. He was in the basketball county thing. I was like, oh no.
You're right off the little exit.
Yeah, but I mean, he rep it though, so I'm not going to knock him. He do rep Mo County too. He rep Mo County.
Yeah, maybe he's like in between.
He's in between. He's the best of both worlds, man. He's the best of both worlds, man. That's where you're at right now.
For sure. So another cool thing about you, Wole, and what we also share, we're a fan of all DMV sports.
Yeah.
You are a diehard Washington football team fan.
Mm-hmm.
So who are your favorite players growing up in the team, and what's your expectations for this team this year?
It's easy money, man. My favorite player is his team, man. Back when I was growing up, it's gonna be funny though. So I thought initially like that Ricky Sanders was like the best receiver in the world. I was wrong about that. Yeah, I thought I was wrong. But yeah, he was one of my favorites. The posse, all of them. You can name Gary Clark, Art Monk, Ricky Sanders. Those are my three. To this day, like my three top receivers that I just love, was fixated on. Darryl Green was one. And then after that, everybody gets spotty, you know what I'm saying? Because he was still so, because that's my glory years of watching this team. I love CP. I love Santana Moss because I like the heart. I love the Miami boys. I'm a big fan of the Miami boys. Chris Cooley was one of my favorite players. I mean, he was one of my favorite players. I'm not gonna lie, but he's done some things on the radio that kind of annoyed me at times too. But and we talking about football. Chris Cooley's one of them too. Stephen Davis. I love Stephen Davis. I thought Stephen Davis didn't get enough attention of what he did while he was here. You know what I'm saying? I think to me, in my years of watching the Washington football team, in terms of running back position, I know Clinton Portis was amazing, but I would say Stephen Davis was better than Clinton Portis from what I saw in his run. Like his run, like I know it's too bad for North Turner, but still at the same time, his run was was legit. They had they had that playoff victory against the Detroit Lions when he was here, when Stephen Davis was here, on North Turner's only playoff, term with the Washington football team. So, but Stephen Davis to me should get more attention. I like Champ, He left. I was kind of hurt. I mean, I got it though,
Yeah.
I did like Champ. After that we had a lot of, we had good players. We were losing though, man. So it's hard to kind of like give a losing team attention. So, but yeah, that was like, those were my favorite players. Now, in terms of my expectations this season, I mean, I think these boys going to ball defensively, man. These boys going to ball, man. I think that, you see, when you look at I use this example, and people looked at me crazy, but it's starting to come to fruition. Man, when the Niners got Bosa, put everything in place, man, on that defensive line. You know what I'm saying? And this team, like it or not, you can say it because you hate this squad. That's fine. You can use your hate all you want to, but if you're looking on straight facts, like this defensive line, you add in Chase Young, it is just as good as that Niners defensive line. You know what I'm saying? If Chase Young is going to be who people think he is, and in terms of his potential, in terms of being a prospect, he's better than Bosa. As a prospect, he's better than Bosa. So you add that with Allen, Payne, Ioannidis, and you're moving to a 4-3, and those dudes are just they're defensive tackles. They're not defensive ends. You add Montez Sweat, who on a down year gave you about 7.5, 8 sacks, and you had him, and you didn't play him in his right position. Basically, you had him in coverage a lot at times, being a outside linebacker in a 3-4, whatever. So now you in a situation where everybody's in their right position. You're deeper now, right? I even mentioned Tim Settle, who was showing promise coming off the bench and give Spelling minutes. In terms of the rotation. Your linebacker said you just got Reuben Foster back. You got another year of Holcomb. You got Sean Deion Hamilton. You brought in Tommy Davis to teach these young dudes. You got ballers, man, and you got Landon Collins out there too. And I think that people sleep on the cornerbacks, and the cornerbacks gonna surprise folks. I'm not saying it's a homer, but if you get Darby healthy and you add in Fuller, and it's Fuller's versatility. If Fuller, you want it when they go 3 wide, you move Fuller back inside, and you put in Fabian Monroe or Jimmy Moreland. Fabian played pretty good outside last year once they moved him to the outside. If you got that situation, man, you got a defense. You know what I'm saying? This actually compares, if I had to be honest, it compares to when Greg Williams first came to town. You know what I'm saying? They got a real defensive coordinator. Now Jack Del Rio is a real defensive coordinator. So when Greg Williams came to town, that defense prior was trash. Was the worst, was one of the worst defenses. And I want to say it's 03. That was 03. That's Gibbs. I think Gibbs came back 03. So yeah, Greg with 03 with Gibbs. And that defense didn't have a bunch of big names. They had LeVar, but LeVar got hurt in preseason. So basically they were playing with a bunch of they were playing with a bunch of so-so guys. But they were top 3. They were number 1 defense for a while. And they moved Antonio Pierce to the inside. Antonio Pierce was a special teamer. They moved him inside line to a middle linebacker. So I'm just saying, you get that type of brain work with this talent. And I'm talking about, I'm not saying Del Rio is Greg Williams, but Del Rio is good. And you get that type of defensive mind with that talent, I'm telling you, that defense is going to shut things down. So to me, it's all about, on the other side, Dwayne Haskins has to, do his part. If he does his part, which I have all faith in Dwayne Haskins, if he does his part, the team can surprise some folks. But they will win games. They win more games. They will win more games than what people think because of that defense.
So how many games in your opinion?
Man, it's tough, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan too at the same time. So I don't hide that. A lot of folks who cover it don't they be hiding it. I don't hide it. I keep it a buck. So the NFL East, the blessing is they're in the NFC East. That's the blessing. So they can shock the world. I feel like they can win 9 games. Honestly, I think they can win 9 games. They can definitely lose five games or less. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's all predicated. And I'm gonna be real. To me, it's predicated on Dwayne Haskins. If Dwayne Haskins is doing what we see in terms of workouts and things of that sort. But I don't like workouts. I don't like workouts. I don't like camp highlights. I think that's BS, to be honest with you. I'm not for that, to tell you, oh, this dude's going to have a great year because I saw this highlight and he looked amazing. I'm like, yo, this happened last year. Right. And you got to see more. Stop it. So it's all up to Dwayne. Dwayne balls out. If Dwayne balls out, this team can win more than 9 games. That I will tell you.
And it's also important that he also has protection too, right, off his of his blind side.
Yeah, that's an issue, man. Like that's an issue too. So, but see, like you hear things about Jerron Christian that he looks better. Again, I'm not going to believe that. So I feel like Dwayne may be running for his life. That's a possibility. So then you have to lean on the run game, and that's what I hope they do lean on the run game. I think they can do it because, I said this when they got AP a couple years ago. It's one thing you don't do, and we learn this in sports. And I talked about Melo, and I talk about LeBron at his age now. Michael Jordan when he came back to the Wizards. Magic Johnson when he came back fat and went to came back fat to the Lakers. Like one thing you don't do is you don't like it doesn't matter how they look, the age they are. One thing you don't do is you don't doubt greatness. Like you don't doubt greatness because what happens is see greatness is a different gear. It's not like it's not because it's not a physical thing. It's a different gear too. It's skill. Don't get it twisted. It's skill, but it's a different gear because you put in the work, you put in the desire and the passion. You know what I'm saying? And you look at things differently. So when you're great, when people write you off because you think you're old or this, that, and the other, nah, man. When you great, you find a way and you make it work. And that's what makes my AP. He's greatness, man. So if you have AP, you can lean on AP. You got Bryce Love as a young dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got potential. Folks saw what he did in Stanford. Lean on that. You know what I'm saying? Lean on that. If your offensive line is trash like that, because one thing offensive linemen, we've known this by watching football. One thing about offensive linemen, one thing they love to do is they like to run block. So they can't pass protect and
can't
run.
Pass pro, no.
They run.
I know. They got to run. That's why Dwayne Haskins lost all that weight. Might run RPO,
Man, you gotta lose that weight, man. He's like a chubby fat boy. I mean, he's a skinny fat boy, man. He gotta lose that weight.
Definitely. So speaking of the defense, you're touching a little bit on Chase Young. So a lot of national media will consider Chase Young as the favorite for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. How, and you touched on it a little bit, how will his presence change the defense?
He's gonna change it up, man. It's gonna make it dominant. I'm gonna be real with you. They're gonna be dominant because of him. I think sometimes you just need that dude, man. He's just that dude. And it's things you can just see it. Like, all right, so I'm a Michigan fan, right? So I've seen Chase Young. So just like I seen Chase Young. I know what Chase Young's about. Like he's an animal. He's a monster. He's a monster. Like, and as much as I hate Ohio State, and I hate Ohio State, like I really hate Ohio State. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are two players that really impress. I mean, there's a couple players that impress. I won't just say just two. But they're both on this team. Like Dwayne Haskins and Chase Young are two dudes that I'm like, whoa. And not even McLaren. McLaren didn't stand out to me in Ohio State, but Chase Young and Dwayne Haskins, they stand out. Like those are dudes, man. They were dudes, and they did it against high competition. So yeah, you bring this dude here, and again, I looked at what Bosa did with San Fran. What he can do here with another, and the thing about it is, you got another beast out there on the other side in Montez Sweat physically. You know what I mean? Like it's scary, man. Like this is the best. Honestly, this is the best young defensive line the Skins have ever had in my viewing existence. My viewing existence.
Same with mine.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, like I like Dana Stubblefield and Big Daddy Wilkerson. It was okay. The inside, it wasn't bad, but it was two dudes inside that were respectable. Obviously, the best one would probably be, but they were older though, like Charles Mann defense. They had Fred Stokes. I want to say it was who was inside. I want to say it was. It is. I can't think of it right now. But that was probably the obviously because they won the Super Bowl and they were like the capital punishment. But that unit was awesome too. You know what I'm saying? But this unit here is special because it's physically God gifted. That's what it's physically God gifted. They got cheat codes on that defensive line. They got cheat codes. Like Montez Sweat basically run like a 4-4-4-3. You add that with Chase Young, and they're both built like men. Oh man, they're a problem.
Yeah, because one's gonna get. I mean, definitely one's gonna get.
Yeah, and then you rotate Ron Kerrigan.
Yep.
Then you rotate Ron Kerrigan. It's a problem, man. It's a problem. If done correctly, and I think these boys they're gonna eat and they're gonna work hard because again, the coaching is better. It's better defensively and head coach wise. The infrastructure is just better. So yeah, man, it's going to be a problem. Like that's one thing. Like all these quarterbacks, Dak, Carson Wentz, all of them, they
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Thank you, Daniel Jones. They gotta be their heads gonna be on the swivel because this is a different defensive line, and we all know that if your quarterback don't got time, your secondary it makes your secondary even better. Now the goal is to stop the run. They do got beasts they got to go against on the other side in terms of running backs. I mean, you going against man Saquon Barkley's the truth. You gonna get Saquon.
Yeah.
He's the truth, bro. Saquon, Elliott, and I'm thinking Philadelphia got a whole slew of running backs anyway. But so you going against that, it's a problem, man. So hopefully they stop the run. They stop the run though, like something special can happen on the defense side of the ball.
Now, does Chase Young start week 1?
Damn right.
You better, right?
Damn right. Yeah, you damn right. Who better Chase Young? Who better? Don't Ryan Kerrigan ain't better no Chase Young. Who? Ryan Kerrigan?
You bet Ryan Kerrigan on 3rd down.
You bet you may not even do that. I'm telling you, want that speed on the end. You may. I mean, I'll say this much. Montez Sweat and Chase Young better be on 3rd down. If you want to put Ryan Kerrigan, you could try to put him inside or come on with some funky new defensive set. But I'm telling you, you can't let that's too much speed, man. Yeah. That's speed and power on the outside. Ryan Kerrigan, God bless his soul. You know what I mean? He works hard. He's a good vet. You know what I'm saying? He's gotten some sacks, some games where he gets sacks. He's had some seasons when he gets a lot of sacks. But we've seen Ryan Kerrigan. And look, I won't lie to you, my man. Dandin, I will not lie to you.
Yes.
I have issues with Ryan Kerrigan at times. Because I'm like, bro, I've been in games where, like, you are blocked by backups. And I'm not cool with that. Like, I've watched games where you are blocked. And there are games where you don't do nothing. Like, you don't even create any havoc. And then you have games where you go, like, you do have, like, 2-3 sacks. Yeah. But you're going against lesser competition, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not a knock on, I mean, saying, like, I think he's got, and I think it's with age, though. I'm not knocking him, his whole career. I think as he's gotten older, he slowed down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He slowed down. But now, if you got young dudes like Sweat and Young, thank you. Sweat and Young, you gotta let them young boys rock. Yeah. Something you just gotta do. You gotta let them young boys rock. And Ryan Kerrigan will get a sack. I think he'll be a better football player because of the rest.
Yeah, it'll preserve his career. It'll definitely preserve his career.
He'll be a football player.
Definitely. So now, with the NFC East, there's three of the 4 head coaches are brand new, right? So we got, Dallas with
McCarthy.
And then New York Giants got a new coach.
Yeah, from the Patriots. The Patriots.
Yeah, and then Ron Rivera. Where do you see the Washington football team stacked with the rest of the NFC East?
Coaches within coaches, or just like the team?
Oh, just
record?
the team, yeah. Like with the
Man, that's funny, man. Like I don't think like the only team I feel like is better. Like I feel like is coached well and has a good roster. I like the Eagles. I think the Eagles are solid. Like and because I like Carson Wentz. I like Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz is a good quarterback. Injuries play a part, and then once you get injured, he came back last year, but it takes you about a year to really get back. You know what I'm saying? Back. Like that following year after then, like that's when you're yourself because you got to trust your body. So I think he's gonna be a problem next season. Like I think Carson Wentz, if we do have a season, I think we'll have a season, but he'll be a problem. That got to do some stuff for me. You know what I'm saying? Like because the Cowboys offensively they do got a mob. I'm not gonna lie to you, they got a mob offensively. You got Zeke, you got Amari Cooper. I wanted Amari Cooper too. They got Amari Cooper. They got Galloway. No, it's not Galloway. Is it Galloway?
Gallup.
I'm sorry, Gallup. Gallup. They got Gallup, and they just got CeeDee Lamb in the draft. So that's 3. Like you got toys to play with, bro. Like so, there's like you had toys to play with last year. For real though, like he had toys to play with last year, and they still got the inside wide the slide wide receiver and he used to play with the Packers.
Oh, Randall Cobb?
Yeah, thank you. Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got weapons. Like you should put up numbers. Like I'm not. It's like Kirk Cousins. Like when like Kirk Cousins with the Skins. It's like you put up numbers, bro. Like you're supposed to put up numbers. If you got Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, like and Jordan Reed, you're supposed to put up numbers. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, and you had Crowder. In this situation, Dak, you're supposed to put up numbers. The thing is that you got to put up numbers against good defenses. You can't put up numbers against bad defenses. So, or on the road in adverse conditions, you got to put up numbers to help your team win games. So I'm always like, I'm wary on Dak. I'm not like the biggest Dak dude because I'm like, before you got Amari Cooper, you were trash. You got Amari Cooper and he started being good. But you had a running back and you had decent wide receivers anyway. They may have not been all world, but you had decent wide receivers. So that's why I like the Eagles. And then the Giants, I think they're a receiver away from being a really good team. I do like what they have. Daniel Jones ain't horrible. I think people he ain't horrible. He's okay. But I just like Saquon so much. I think Saquon can win you games because he's just that dynamic. What he can do with the football, you know what I'm saying? It's Marshall Falkish. Yeah. But the power of like the leg power of Barry Sanders and how he can kind of remix things. Like he's got some things, man. Like I'm serious. And again, another Big Ten team, that I don't really care for. He's special though, man. But he's special though. I'm not gonna lie to you. That boy's special though. So yeah, I just feel like, but I do think I think the Washington football team, if their defense balls like I think they will. I think they can have the best defense in the NFC East. And I feel like the team that has the best defense in the NFC East typically wins the division. Typically. The team that has the best defense in the NFC East typically wins the division. And usually that's the Eagles, right? They win the division. So I feel like if the Skins, I would say if the Skins have the best defense in the NFC East, they'll win the division.
Well,
I feel confidence in that.
I hope you're right, Wole. I hope you're right, man. Yeah. We got like 2 weeks away.
I know, right? It's coming, man. It's coming. It don't feel like it though, right? It don't feel like it though, right? Am I exaggerating? Like I feel like we're about to hit September. I don't even have the football vibe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you know why? We don't feel it. You know what I mean? We don't. There's no preseason. You know what I mean? I'm not even excited for like Madden, like how I used to be. But,
yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna pick it up because it's Chase Young. We got Chase Young.
Of course.
I
have a question. So, do you miss having preseason?
I do, just to have something to watch.
Me too, man. I do. I feel bad. Me for preseason, I feel bad for like these dudes who are on the bubble because I feel like preseason is a good showing for people to make the team. And because practicing against your own doesn't mean nothing. I want people to understand it because you get used to people's tendencies. We see this all the time. It's all right. It's like if I hoop, we use basketball for an analogy. If I hoop against you 24/7, I'm gonna get used to you. You're gonna get used to me, right? You if I'm better than you or you better than me, eventually you'll get used to my tendencies. And even if you're the better individual, I may win a couple games off you because I'm used to you. So if I know that you can go you go left, you like to go left, I'm gonna try to take your left because I'm just used to you, and I'm gonna keep trying to take away your left, and I may win a couple games off of that. You know what I'm saying? But if you want preseason on another team, a team you ain't practicing against, and they got different tendencies and this, that, and the other, and you're practicing against that, and now you're showing me that you can dominate or you can ball against. To me that's a better showing. That's why I'm like when I see these clips, I'm telling you, my man, Danny, I'm telling you, when I see these clips, I'm like, give it to the next person because I ain't buying nothing. Don't report and tell me like this person look good. I'm like, whatever. I ain't see it. I don't believe it. And you're doing it against your own. So don't tell me this person looks good in practice. It don't mean nothing. Because I love Jimmy Moreland. But Jimmy Moreland was balling against folks in practice last year. He played good in preseason to a certain extent. But then he got to the regular season and stuff got a little different. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm just like, hey, give me, I miss preseason because at least preseason, you can gauge real ability. You can gauge it. You can gauge ability. Now, it may not transition well in the regular season, but you know that person has it, you know what I'm saying, if they ball out to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I miss preseason.
Yeah, I miss it too. Remember Terrell Pryor, right? Oh, yeah, one-hand catches, I'm practicing. Yeah. And then what happened come regular season?
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing.
Doing nothing. But he was doing that in practice, though. It wasn't even in preseason.
Yeah, that's
he was doing that in practice.
Yeah.
And everybody was hyped. And then when you got to see competition, he was nothing. Like, you get used to your own. I'm telling you, man, because then you get a rivalry with your own. Because I think Terrell Pryor was going at, I want to say it was Josh Norman at the time, or was it Bree? I think it was Bree. It was going at Bree.
Yep.
Like, I was like, because he's used to Bree. They're on the same team. But do that against another quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They're not, and truth be told, in practice, there's still that thing in your mind, like, I ain't trying to get this person hurt because we need him for the regular season. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the preseason, they ain't worried about you getting hurt.
Nope.
They going to defend you a different way anyway. Yeah. So you don't got that umbrella. You're not safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not safe. And that's the thing. I'm like, nah, man, you're going to lose me with that. You tell me that this person look good. Nah, now that the hype now is the kid, is Apke. Apke is the hype now. Oh, Apke look good at safety. I'm like, oh, okay, Apke look good at safety. Did you not? Okay. I saw him last year. I know what Apke is.
I know. I think if me and you are watching have the same 20/20 vision, and we're looking at Apke on TV on special teams, he's always running past his man all the time.
All the time.
Like, so I'm saying 30, boom.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, but hey, if he's improved, I never like to doubt somebody's improvement and what they can do. If he's improved under good coaching, I'm all for it. That's why I put out there, man. I'm serious, man. Y'all better get a look at Earl Thomas. He out there on the market, and you know what Earl gonna bring. I don't care what you gonna say about this whole image thing. Y'all gonna lose me with that one because I got some non-PC things to say about that whole image thing.
Well, that's up to Ron Rivera. You know, he's already had a headache with Steve Smith and forgot the.
He made it work though.
Yeah,
he made it work. How many years he do with Steve? How many years did with Steve?
Yeah, but Steve had his best season right when he dipped though. You know what I mean?
What, the Ravens?
Yeah, I mean he had like a so. I mean he had a.
He was always good with Carolina. Yeah. Well, when did he get to Carolina though? When did Ron get?
I forgot. But
but Steve always balls though, man. Steve always. I mean, my thing about Ron, like he got Cam. I guess Cam's supposed to be a bad person, I guess too. He can ball. I hate the term bad. Like the character flaw things are like iffy to me. Like Earl Thomas, like he fought somebody in camp. People fight all the time in camp. Like you're gonna lose me with the fight thing. All right, let's just be. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm on your show. We're gonna keep it a buck. All right?
For sure.
Keep it a buck. He cheated on his wife, man. It's bad in the grand scheme of things. I get it, but he's an athlete. It tends to happen at times. We've seen stories about this. So you gonna cut everybody on your squad? You gonna carry a lot of people on your squad? Like it happens. I'm not saying like, and I'm not naming names. I'm just saying that people in that particular realm, it's not abnormal for somebody to cheat on their spouse. I'm just saying, like, it's not abnormal. It's bad. Don't get me wrong, man. Like, you should respect your spouse. But I'm saying in that realm, it does happen. So it's not like he should get the scarlet letter for cheating on his wife. His wife put a gun on him. That wasn't him. His wife did that. Like, he didn't pull a gun on his wife. His wife put a gun on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. All right, it's different. So that's all I'm saying. It's different. But if that's what you want to bank on, to have Troy Agnew start over Earl Thomas, or you prefer Troy Agnew over Earl Thomas, go for it. It is all you. You go for it. You tell me at the end of the day if Agnew is better than Troy Thomas. I mean Earl Thomas. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like I said, We'll see.
We'll see, man.
Yeah. So I want to switch it, back to your favorite sport, which I know now. I thought it was football, but you're a hooper. It is basketball. So, what was your evaluation of the Wizards this year? Considering John Wall sitting out the whole year, Bradley balling out, got snubbed, NBA All-Star, All NBA, Davis Bertans, potential. Max player, and then you got Rui Hachimura balling out, Troy Brown balled out. How do you see this team as a whole, from what you saw this season, and what do you see them, for next season?
I mean, it's all predicated on John Wall. They want to win games. I think we've seen that in the past. As much as Bradley, there's stat winners and they're dudes who put up stats. And Bradley Beal is so much improved. So I want people to understand this before I get into anything else. Like, if you ask me what Bradley Beal was like 3-4 years ago, I'd have been like, he overrated, you know what I'm saying, as a basketball player. But what he does in terms of now creating his own shot, off the dribble, pull-up game, range, you know what I'm saying, he defends. He does a lot of things that, you're just impressed with now because you used to be, when you trap Bradley Beal, he would lose the ball. Now he's not that person. He's not that person anymore. So he's a scorer, man. He's a drop-dead scorer. But, you know what I mean, there are winning plays and then there are, like, stat plays. And I think Bradley Beal, at this point in time, his maturation process is make stat plays. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think you got to build to, like, be a winning basketball player. I think that now Devin Booker, what you saw in the bubble, his maturation process is now taking it to that level. And to a point where now Devin Booker is just, to me, next season, you're going to get somebody totally special. But Bradley Beal, you're dropping like basically close to 30 points a game in that stretch. I mean, it's amazing. But now, you know what I'm saying, we're going to Wole. Wole is a player that this team has leaned on to win basketball games and make good runs, big-time runs in the postseason. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's the guy that makes the ship run. You know what I'm saying? Like, keeps that thing floating. So, I think he's going to, from the clips I saw, and I know I was just talking about clips on the football field, but on the basketball court, like, he got explosion back. That's what you want to see. Well, he got his explosion back. He's dunking with his left hand, you know what I'm saying? And he's getting up. It looks explosive. So the only thing is about, putting him on, I guess they'll put him on some type of minute restriction when he gets back. But I think once he's back, they could be a playoff team, easily be a playoff team. The problem is the East going to get tough next year because Kevin Durant's coming back too.
Yep.
So the East will get tougher. But I think they're in good shape to win some games. You mentioned Rui. I like Rui. I think Rui has a lot of potential. I didn't like the way Rui was used this year, to be honest with you. I saw Rui and Gonzaga, so I know what Rui can do. I think the Wizards had limited Rui under the coach. I'm not a big fan of Scott Brooks as a coach, so I let that be known here. I think Scott Brooks is a bad coach. I don't think he's a good coach.
I think that was a high profile, name.
It was.
Signing.
It sure was.
Just for the sake of, Ernie Grunfeld gone. Let's sign someone that went to the NBA Finals, coaching 3 MVPs.
You already named it. You just said it right there. I mean, people forget how talented that team was. You mentioned 3 MVPs. You're talking about Westbrook, Harden, Durant. But dude, look at you on the bench, man. He had Jeff Green too. He had Jeff Green. He had Adams. Serge Ibaka. You know what I'm saying? We just named players that are contending. Serge Ibaka won a championship with Toronto and was a big contributor. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Jeff Green has had a good NBA career. He's had like multiple talented. He had Reggie Jackson too. Like multiple talented dudes, man. Like he's just, he won with a very stacked squad. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't even win the championship. But that's neither here nor there. But when you're looking at this team, they get John Wall back. It can hide Scott Brooks. That's my thing. It can hide Scott Brooks. But to Rui, if you watch, and I'm going to say this to Wizards fans listening and paying attention, if you watch Rui and Gonzaga, he was a dude that you can run offense. Like, you can run your offense through. Like, you give Rui the ball in a high post. Rui can facilitate. He can score off the high post. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a three-point shooter, and I hate that in the NBA when people try to make folks this whole analytic thing when you got to shoot threes. You don't have to shoot threes. You're not a good three-point shooter. But we're from the mid-range, assassin from the high post. You know what I'm saying? Assassin. So, like, you have him in high post, run your offensive sets through Rui. You know what I mean? Like, he can pass. He can do all of this. But with the Wizards, it was like Scott Brooks kept trying to make him just a scorer. And it was like, do ISO. Let him go ISO. That's not the way he plays ball. You know what I'm saying? He's not that type of player. And right now, as a youngster, when you're coming out of college, I think all people understand this is very important. When you come out of college and you're going to start a young dude and you want him to be successful, then do things close to what he was doing in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, close to it. Then in the off season, they get the maturation process and they learn more and they become a better basketball player. But yeah, I think Rui will be better when John Wall gets there. I think he'll definitely be better when John Wall gets back because John Wall's a facilitator. You got to really account for what John Wall has to do. But my thing about John is that I just hope that I know he's gonna be hungry. That's a good thing. Motivated to John Wall is a great thing. But I do hope that during this off season, like he worked on his jumper. And I don't mean like shooting the three ball. Everybody gets fixated on the three ball, but because his speed is so trill and it's so explosive that he can just pull up from the free throw line and he just master that shot. He's a serious problem. Because Tony Parker used to do that too. Like Tony Parker wasn't shooting a bunch of threes, but he was so fast that he just pull up at the free throw line or that area, and it was lights out. You know what I mean? It was lights out.
Yeah, I mean, I am hopeful too for John Wall, like you are, Wole, but I got burned. We got burned many times with John Wall, right? Like double
Mm,
knee surgery.
yeah,
Remember like he had that off season. He even did like a YouTube series when he was working out in Miami, and
yeah,
then oh yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life. It's Wolf season, and then what
yeah,
happens? Like he gets injured. So
yeah,
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have my
yeah.
doubts with Wall.
His
You know,
health, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, no.
he's not gonna. Honestly, I think he won't be the same. Of course,
Uh,
there's motivation for him to be
yeah.
to be where he is. He won't have the same explosiveness. Yes,
Uh,
he may get past players, maybe older players, but
yeah.
I can't see him. I can't see him like keep up with maybe like Westbrook or um, uh, De'Aaron Fox
Yeah. Oh,
or
yeah. All right, man.
you know what I mean, like a John
That's
Morant,
cool.
or
I love John.
A Devin Booker. You know
I
what I
love
mean?
John.
Or a
Yeah.
Dame. I think
Yeah. Nobody
Dame
said
is
a
on a
thing.
different level. So
That's different level. That's a whole different level.
I think Dame is yeah, he's one of your guys. So like with all due respect, I love John Wall. Like
Yeah.
he's been with us like 10 years now, but
Yeah.
as any other player, like their skills diminish. So I hope I'm wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he's following the path like Derrick Rose. Like it's just going to
Ooh.
diminish, man. I'm keeping it a buck, bro. Like
I know you are though. You are. Yeah.
a lot of people on social media are like John Wall and Bradley Beal forever. House of Guards forever. Well, bro, how like up to when can you make these two happy? Because
Yeah.
deep down inside, Beal is fed up. He got paid. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's his
Yeah.
team. He took the
Yeah.
reins. He knows that's my team. When Wall comes back.
It's gonna be his team.
Team.
It's
That's
Wall's team.
team.
It's gonna be Wall's team. When Wall come back, it's gonna be his team.
You
Let
think
me keep
so?
that a buck. Oh, let me keep that a
Okay.
buck. I'm gonna keep that a buck. So the thing is that Wall's gonna have the ball. He's the facilitator. He's
Yeah.
the playmaker. It's gonna be his team.
So here's the
It just and off reputation alone, if you want to be real, and just in terms of like basketball success, and you're gonna look at the current coach. They won basketball games when it was Wall's team. You know what I'm saying? Now you can try to transition away. And the only thing this is I will say about the injury thing is that which is different and from because Wall was rushing himself back and those injuries you were referring to. The cool thing about this situation, because I always feel like when you get an Achilles, this is when people mess up. Like they try to come back the year after. Like he took out this whole year. He didn't play ball, and that's the one thing I do like, because I feel like if you take care of your body right, and he's young enough to kind of do it. Because even DeMarcus Cousins, look at DeMarcus Cousins. He came back. Look what happened. He got hurt again. Like
yeah.
you got it. You can't do that. Like you get an Achilles, you can't do that. That injury, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
And I like the KD. I'm glad KD didn't decide to try to come back this season either, because it's serious. Like you got to take advantage of. Like when you get that type of injury, you got to kind of like rest it out. Because if you rest it out correctly, you can come back. Because Dominique Wilkins did it. People forget like Dominique had an Achilles and he came back. But Dominique Wilkins is a freak of nature though too. The same thing with Westbrook. Westbrook is a freak of nature. Like his injury, he's not supposed to have this type of ability anymore.
Westbrook
he's supposed to be like Derrick Rose.
He's 30. You know what I mean? Like
Westbrook
is 30.
Yeah, he's different. He's a different dude. It's just like because he had the same thing Derrick Rose got, like the same base injury, the same type of situation.
Yeah.
What's different? Like it's the genetic makeup. His genetic makeup is just different. But yeah, man, I'm just like for me, it's like if this situation, if I'm sorry, I saw the news, man. Boseman died. Hey, Black Panther.
Chadwick Boseman?
Chadwick just died. He died. Breaking news.
Oh my god.
It's called me on guard. So
bro, I didn't look at my
colon
phone.
cancer. Colon cancer.
Damn.
I just just call me on guard. Sorry. But yeah,
so young, man.
Yeah, so young. Good God. Oh man.
You went to Howard too.
Yeah, with Howard.
Jesus.
Yes. Oh, that's called me on guard. Just saw news.
Oh, no. That's all right, man. I mean, shoot,
yeah.
That's breaking news, man.
Yeah, geez.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean,
sucks. Like,
yeah. 2020 is the worst. It is the absolute worst. Jeez, man. R.I.P., bro. R.I.P.
Man.
Ooh, that's terrible. But trying to get back on topic. So, but John Wall, if they can get him back, if he could just kind of he don't gotta be all the way back to be real. He don't gotta be all the way back. He just gotta be back enough where he's still fast enough to get past certain people. And if he can do that, then he's cool because I've always told folks he's a point guard for real. Like he's a real point guard. Like he gets people involved. He made Otto Porter money. I'm a Georgetown fan. He made Otto money.
Yeah.
He made Trevor Ariza money. He kept Paul Pierce going. Like there's a lot of things that he's done, you know, in the process. His short tenure in the NBA for real. Like he's made people better. And could you imagine with Davis Bertans, what he can do with Davis as a shooter? Like he can do some things in terms of finding him as, you know, going to the hole. So it's a good fit. But again, my issue is not Bradley Beal, John Wall, or Rui, man. It's really Scott Brooks. That's my issue with the Wizards. I think the Wizards could be a better team. Even last year with Bradley, think about it. Bradley Beal is that dude, right? He dropping 30 points per game. Like he doing it for real. Yo, and you still like you an AC though. Like the Brooklyn Nets had nobody.
That's what
you know what I'm saying? Like they had nobody. Like even like there's so many teams, and this is why I tell people about the impact of a player. There's stat players and there are players who help you win. You just name one dude we talked about John Wall, like he won't have to check. Look at John Morant. I'm gonna use it as a prime example. Everybody thought that the Memphis Grizzlies was going to be some bottom-feeding team, like the worst team, one of the worst teams in the NBA. All they did was add Ja. All they really did was add Ja.
Yep.
Iguodala thought they were trash. He didn't want to play with him.
Yeah.
Like all they did was add Ja, and they contended for a playoff spot.
They were
The
close.
Wizards have a 30-point score. Arguably, everybody talks about he should be an All-NBA player, this, that, and the other, right? And they're like fighting them. They're fighting to make the postseason. You got that dude in the Eastern Conference, and you can't win games in the East. We're not even talking about the West, because Ja playing in the West. In the East, that's what I'm saying. Like people gotta I'm saying like it's coaching, and it's like you gotta have a dude. You gotta have a leader or a dude who can facilitate and help you win games. That's very essential. So. I mean, I think the Wizards have an opportunity. They get like to your point though, if they get an adequate John Wall, they can make the postseason.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough one.
I'm not expecting, you know, second year, third year, you know, even rookie John Wall. I just want him to be healthy. Play 82 games. If you need to do load management, so be it.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Just don't burn those knees out, because you already have a history already.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we've seen this already. We've seen it with Gil. We've seen it with like.
Very good example, man.
That's it. That's why it hurts me to say this, man. Like.
Yeah. It's real.
I'm seeing it.
It's real.
Now. I'm seeing
it's real. It's real. Like you mentioned again, Gil. See, Gil too though. It's like he rushed it. There's a lot of people. The issue with knee injuries is like, because I tore my ACL, so. Like I get like there are people, and I look at it like just going through a process, just to, you know, get ready to play basketball for fun or whatever. Like it's intensive, and I don't get their type of treatment, so it's totally different, right? It's totally different. But at the same time, man, like you just can't be jumping back in there, like because you got to trust your cuts. Like it's mental too, bro. It's mental. Like you gotta trust your cuts. You gotta trust everything when you're on that court. You gotta know that. And we're talking about you perform against athletes at the highest level, not anybody no run and shoot. We talking about folks at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, you're gonna be behind if you can't trust that knee. You're gonna be behind when you check in, like you mentioned, like a Westbrook or a Ja Morant. You're gonna be behind. So you gotta make sure within that year when you sit. That's what I'm saying. Sit out a whole year to a point where all right, it's now or never. And then make sure you have that mentality. Because a lot of these dudes, like Gil, I wish Gil just sat it out, man. Because that's a career that could have been extra special. Because it was special in his time frame. That run was amazing. Like the Gilbert Arenas run was amazing. The Agent Zero run was amazing.
Yeah, like I said, rest in peace, Kobe. He's the only player that dropped 60 on Kobe.
Yeah. Oh, man. But he used to go at Kobe. He used to go at Kobe. Like they had that thing. They did it here in the city, and they did it in LA. Like they used to go. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you that run with Gil, man. It's funny because I had this argument. I'm a Laker fan. Like, I'm a Laker fan, and that run with like, but so I have no biasness when I say this. that run was like I love the Gill and Larry Hughes backcourt more than I like the Karan
Thank
Butler.
you. Thank
Are you
you.
with me, Danny? Are you with me? You with me, right? Thank you, Ron. Like I think that backcourt was
I
the
love
realest
Larry
backcourt.
Hughes, bro. I love that 04 team, man. Oh 03,
Yeah, I'm
04 team,
serious. It
that was
was
my
better.
team.
It was better. It was better, dog. I'm telling you. They won a playoff series. It was better, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was better. Ain't nothing you gonna tell me. It was better, dog. Because that backcourt, I'm gonna tell you, if you watch ball and you know what people doing on the court, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Literally, Gil and Larry used to compete against each other in the game. And you can see it. Like there's anything you can do, I can do better. Like I'm gonna get this pluck. Oh, you got this pluck? I'm gonna get this pluck. Oh, you gonna hit this basket? Next time we go back, I'm getting this basket.
Yeah.
It was the realest
That was
thing, period.
wild. Larry Hughes was leading the league in steals before he broke his thumb.
Yes.
He was supposed to be an all-star.
And he scored 20.
And Gil took his spot.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he was gonna go to the All-Star game. Larry was it, man. Like Larry and Gil, that backcourt. People because they get fixated when Karan and Karan balled too. Karan was a beast. I'm not knocking Karan. But like they get fixated because they won a certain amount of games, but I don't think they won a playoff series with Karan. They didn't win a playoff series with Karan.
No,
but with Larry, they beat the Bulls with him with Juan Dixon come off the bench. They beat the Bulls in that series.
And Steve
You know
Blake.
what I'm saying? And Steve Blake, yeah. Eddie Jordan was coaching, bro. Eddie Jordan was coaching that. He was coaching that mob. But like that team was exciting. Like it really was exciting. That team was exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was telling people that's the reason why it was exciting because people forget like Larry and Gil and Antoine, they played in Golden State together. Like all three of them played in Golden State together. So they already had chemistry. That's why it worked so well in DC. Oh man, I kind of wish that they stayed together.
I had a nerd on Wale, man.
You did, man. You did, man. You got me, man. You got me, bro. When you said Gil, I was like, oh man, Gil and Larry, yeah, you got me.
That's like I said, Gil's my guy, man. I love Gil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I also want to like ask you, since you're a Laker fan, who do you got in the NBA Finals?
Man, as a Laker fan, I was gonna like initially. Well, I mean, I want to say my squad. I want some Lakers going in. I want to see them, but I think I'm gonna use who's playing the best ball. It was gonna be the Clippers. I wanted to say the Clippers at first, but they kind of struggled with Dallas. But though they showed out, it's gonna be tough when the Lakers and Clippers. I ain't gonna lie to you, because now it's like from what I'm seeing. Like, if you told me the way the Lakers were playing before the bubble, and everybody, it's all dictated too on who you play. So they may look different against like another team, but if you would have told me before that, I would have told you before the bubble. I would have told you. I mean, before the playoff round, excuse me, I would have said the Nuggets. And I would say the Nuggets or the Clippers out of the West, and I would say Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee is just like
no faith in the Lakers.
Before the playoffs in the bubble. Yeah,
in the bubble. Who's your bubble pick?
Now, like, I would say it's going to be between the Clippers and the Lakers. I will say that out the West. Yeah, because I do think the Clippers have a better. I think once they get everybody, I think they do have a better team. I think not having Avery Bradley is going to hurt. I think it's going to really hurt.
It shows.
But Milwaukee still to me is like the team. The only reason I would like to choose Boston, to be real with you, but Milwaukee beating Boston though. They got something about Boston. Boston don't match up well against Milwaukee. But I do like Boston's talent. But I'm gonna go Milwaukee and one of the LA teams. I mean, I'm gonna use my fandom. I guess if I had to break the tie, it would be the Lakers. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I look at the Clippers and what level they can turn it on. I mean, I don't think Paul George is gonna play trash forever. I mean, he had his good game last couple nights ago. If Paul George plays that way, Kawhi's bucket machine and he straps. So does Paul George straps. They should be going to the finals. But they don't have Patrick Beverly. That's gonna hurt too. They don't have Pat Beverly. That's gonna hurt too.
So Lakers Clippers Western Conference Finals. Who wins it all?
Who wins it all? Western Conference Finals and the finals. All right, man. Now,
come on,
spot, man. You're gonna be dirty. You know what? I'm on Zoom calls. I'm on everything. That's all stuff. Keep on. Man, we going Lakers, bro. We going Lakers, man.
All right,
we going Lakers. Lakers going to play the Milwaukee Bucks. It's going to be Giannis versus LeBron. AD going to be Finals MVP.
Okay, so you're saying Lakers gonna win over the Bucks?
But yeah, AD will be Finals MVP.
How many games?
Oh, that's 7.
7,
That's
4-3.
gonna be 7. That's gonna be
Or-
4-3. That's gonna be 4-3. I'm gonna give respect when respect is due. Like Giannis and Milwaukee, and that team is coached well. Like it's a good team. You know what I mean? They do got issues, I believe, with the number 2 scorer because he's gonna have to be more. Milton gonna have to be more consistent. But I mean, I think Giannis can hold it down for a little bit. Though I do think that Giannis too has to develop more skill as his career goes on, because his game won't age well. I just think that once he gets older, he's such at this particular point in time, he's such a one trick pony, and he's not like it's not like he's 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? He's frail, so eventually he's not going to be able to do what he does. So when he's driving the length of the floor, he's not going to have that same lift. So he's going to have to get some type of a jumper. It only got to be a 3. It can be like I'm talking about a pull up. He's going to have to get a mid range jumper because one that shot's too phony and a real shot. That thing's terrible. I'm sorry.
It's like a set shot, right? It's not
It's
even
a set
jumper.
shot. It's not even a jump shot. It's not a jumper. It's not a jumper. It's like, have you ever seen Giannis take a real pull up? Like a real
It's
pull
like
up?
catapult. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he
Yeah, I'm
has them long
serious.
arms.
Yeah, look how he shoots. His 3 ball is set. That's easy. It's set. And the reason why it's so because no one respects it. They play so far back that he gets to take his time. That's not real. Like when you get older, like we talk about John Wall, like his game probably doesn't age right either because once you lose your speed, that's what I'm saying. He needs to get more skill and like shoots the J better. But once you lose your athletic ability, that's when like what you're gonna lose it. So you want to see how your skill transforms after that. That's why some players are just going to be good for a while. Like Kevin Durant's just gifted. Like he's going to be good for a while. Like because he's taller and he got a sweet jumper. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna lose that first step, but he's still going to be like that dude. You know what I'm saying? Because he's skilled. There's certain players that won't age well. Like LeBron aged well because he's skilled. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like he's not just like everybody. He's just so strong and big. That's not it. I mean, big and fast. That's not just it. He's skilled. You know what I mean? Certain people. Chris Paul was more athletic when he was younger, but he's still playing good basketball because he's skilled. You know what I'm saying? Like so people like Giannis, he's going to have to develop a real jumper. I think he needs to change his form altogether. Like what they did with Markelle Fultz, he gonna have to do the same thing. The same exact thing. Markel's performance. Yeah. You do have to change it up.
All right, Wale. So we're at the end of this. I appreciate you having the time with us. So I'm gonna switch it up to you. Ask me a question.
Sure, man. All right. So this is good. This is fun. I like asking questions, man. So, man. So for you, we didn't talk about you. We talk about me. But where do you have the Watch football team? What's going to be their record? What's for you? What's going to be their record?
Keep it out. Like I said, we keep it at 100 here.
Yeah, 100, man. That's what we doing.
I got in between. If there's no injuries with their players like Haskins or Young, I see them 7-9.
So don't forget the curse is over, man. They changed the name. The curse is over. So
7-9, and then maybe if a couple breaks, 9-7.
9-7. See,
and then maybe squeaking the wild card.
A wild card. All right. What is your feel about Dwayne Haskins? Do you like Dwayne Haskins?
I mean, me and you talked about it, off air. So I'm a big fan of Dwayne Haskins. It was actually like the last purchase I got from as a Washington Redskin merchandise. So I'm like, you know what? And then they changed the team. I was like, man, you better ball out because like this is the last thing I've ever bought that says Redskins on the friggin' jersey.
I know that's right.
I think Haskins will have a great season. As you were pointing out, the key is protection and also the run game. I think McLaurin might struggle this year because a lot of defense will key on him.
I respect that. I think so too.
Yeah, the key will be, the young kids, Gandy Golden, Gibson, AP, and then you also got Bryce Love. So those players needs to help Haskins. Give him time. It's in the pocket to find this. And Steven Sims on the slot. We forgot about him. So I think, Dwayne Haskins has the ability to go leaps and bounds from year 1 to year 2. He got to be healthy. he has to continue to study the playbook, what Ron Rivera expects of him. Because basically, you got Alex Smith that a lot of people are raving and cheering for. And
All
don't
right.
forget about Kyle Allen too. He knows the Ron Rivera system. He's a disciple of Scott Turner's offense. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that goes against Haskins. So it's Haskins' job to lose. He has
Mm-hmm.
to prove to to Ron Rivera and the team that he can lead his team. So I think because Haskins has played in a big stage, he's played with Ohio State, won all these games, 50 touchdowns. He got his boy McLaurin. He had a good off season. So we need to see it. We need to see everything that he's doing. And like I said, he just needs to those broken plays. There will be broken plays. So we got no.
Mm-hmm.
I have no faith in the O line. He needs
I
to
respect.
make.
I respect that.
He needs to make time in the pocket to find those players. That's gonna be key.
All
Cause
right.
like
I'm
I've
at.
seen him. Yeah, I've seen him like that Giants game. That
Yeah.
man, he was staying like 5 seconds in the pocket. He didn't want to throw it. He was
Yeah.
hesitant. Hesitant. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, give it to him. Like that was his second game, first game or whatever. I'm a believer. Like I've always like want to make sure whoever quarterback I'm that's playing, I'm gonna rock with him. I was even rocking with freaking Case Keenum. Oh yeah, Case Keenum's gonna ball out. You know what I mean? That's just like the hapless.
He's rocking with Kurt too.
I'll rock with Kirk too. I gotta you like that shirt. You know what it is? When we traded Kirk Cousins, I gave my shirt to Goodwill, man. Like, all right, peace out. I gave that thing away. It was like a bad memory. I gotta give it away. Someone else wanted it. So, I'll rock with any quarterback. That's my
I respect that.
that's my thing. Until Haskins do me wrong, like an RG3. You know what I mean? I'm a diehard RG3 fan.
Okay, let's say okay.
That's
To this
my
day,
guy, man. Yeah, to
you
this
still.
day, man.
What? Because of great memories, right?
2012 was special, man. Like
It was special. That's what I'm saying. I agree.
it's like I start feeling great. You know what I mean? But RG3, I'm at peace now with RG3. He's in a good spot with the Ravens. So I hope he finds whatever he finds happiness from. But there's no way in hell he's gonna like take over Lamar Jackson unless he gets hurt. That's pretty
It's
much
over
it.
for him. It's over for him.
You know what I mean?
So
But yeah, I want Haskins to do well.
So who are on this team? Because you got the skin tat, so we're gonna rock with the skins question.
For sure.
All right. So other than Chase Young, who do you think is gonna have a big impact on the defense?
It's a good question. I would probably say Landon Collins.
Okay.
Landon Collins primarily because, he is the quote unquote captain, right? Unless it's gonna be Bostic or Kerrigan. That secondary needs fine tuning. A lot of people already labeled, Landon Collins as a box safety, right? Oh yeah, he just tackles, can't cover. That's how he got Pro Bowls at New York. That's what we paid him for, highest paid safety in the NFL. I know he can cover. He can he can rock with he can run with the wide receivers. I've seen him run with Amari Cooper and Zach Ertz. He can hang with him.
Mm-hmm.
He just got to be consistent, man. Like he just got to like be disciplined in his spots. He gets excited like, oh, big hit. I see him like head hunting. You know what I mean? I guess he wants that Sports Center top 10 play. You got to quit that, man. Like I expect Landon Collins to do well. And then I'll give you another sleeper. And I'm really rooting for him. I want Reuben Foster to do well too.
Everybody does too, man. I do too.
But that linebacker, where he's gonna play at? He can't play outside. You gotta put him like inside.
Yeah, somebody actually, I've been hearing he may play. There's a chance he can play outside. There's a chance.
He's there next. I mean, Holcomb is good.
Holcomb's not. Could be real with you. When healthy, Holcomb's not Reuben.
No,
he's not Reuben.
Reuben, when we signed him, I was like, yeah, he got all these distractions, but bro, like he's from Alabama, man. I saw him won the national championship. Like,
Yeah, you saw it.
yeah, he honestly, it was his fault that he dropped that far to the Niners. He would have been like a top
Yeah,
10, top 5, top 10 pick.
easily
Yeah.
top 5 pick, top 10, top 5 pick.
And also, like, his injury too. We need to see like
Yeah,
what he can do because at any time these players can get hurt. That's just
yeah.
that's the business of football, right?
Yeah, it's tough, man. His situation is like Ruben is a guy. I'm with you. Like I root for Ruben. Like I want Ruben because I wanted Ruben. I wanted Ruben over Jonathan Allen. So you already know. Like I think that highly of Ruben. I really do. I think that high. I think Ruben is special. So I actually I had somebody on my show compare Ruben to LeVar because he's an Alabama fan. And what he said about LeVar, he was like, "Yeah, Ruben is special. He's a tackler, like a real tackler. He's a tackler that makes it hurt. He's not just a grabbing tackler. He wants to hurt you when he tackles you." And I was like, yeah, I know. But he said the only thing about Ruben is that, just like LeVar, he would do his own thing. That's the only issue with Ruben. And I was like, yeah, but when you that talent, you can play with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can play with it. You just use him you utilize him to his strength. So yeah, I'm with you with Ruben. So all right. So do you feel? All right. So you said that you think Terry McLaurin's probably going to be like teams are going to focus on Terry McLaurin. Who do you think is going to be the number 2 wide receiver? Do you think it's going to be Gandy Golden? Will it be AGG? Or will it be
AGG? I mean, you're talking about like Antonio Gibson?
Yeah, no, Gandy Golden.
Oh, it's gonna be Gandy.
He'll be the second wide receiver.
Gandy Golden reminds me. Remember Marcus Colston from the Saints?
Yeah, I think he's going to be better though. But yeah, I don't know Marcus Colston.
But he's faster though. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, he's faster than Gold. Yeah.
I think because he's he's tall, like Plaxico Burress, kind of lanky.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is skillful. He is smart. He can solve a Rubik's Cube in like 30 seconds.
I thought it was cool, man. I thought it was cool.
Smart dude. Plays the violin or the cello or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really think that, I was really hoping Kevin Harmon would have been healthy to, have a good year. Because we really need that.
You like Harmon?
Player. Yeah. Does he remind you of like Anquan Bolden?
Anquan was a little bit. See, oh God, that's a good one.
Bolden,
I like Anquan. I think Anquan was way more dynamic with the ball. Like he's way more dynamic with the ball. Anquan was way more dynamic.
Yeah, but I would say like size-wise. His build, and then he can block too. He was their best blocker last year.
Yeah, no, he was a good blocker. I like Harmon. I think Harmon could have been solid. I really think AGG and Gandy Golden. I think Antonio Gandy Golden is going to be something special. I think he's going to be special. I think because he is like what you're talking about. Like if you watch his clips in college and you watch his clips in you've seen him like in practice, a little bit in practice. I'm not going off, but just some of the things he's done. He's a receiver that this team has desperately needed for a while. They need a wide receiver with real attitude when it comes to football. I'm talking about like they wanted Josh Dotson, the Moss folks, like, and he could, and he had ups. Don't get wrong, he had ups, but he wasn't mean. There's a difference between having ups and mean. Like when the ball's in the air, you physically are imposing. Like you are saying, hey, this is my football. Get the F out of my way. Like that type of thing. And Gandy Golden has that, like, hey, this is my football. You gonna get hurt if you're trying to jump with me. You gonna get hurt. So like that, I think this team they haven't had that since. I mean, they haven't had a mean receiver since
Garcon?
Yeah, Pierre Garcon. Since Pierre Garcon. Everybody's been finesse. They've been nice. They've been real nice.
Yeah.
Like you get Gandy Golden, you ain't nice no more. You playing mean. And I think Dwayne needs a mean receiver. He needs a mean receiver.
Yeah, I was really hoping, like I said, Harmon would have been that. I mean, like you see McLaurin.
Harmon was cool, solid. He was solid. Cool.
But like I said, he's gonna get dope. He's gonna get a.
That's what I'm saying. I like your point. They're going
to jam McLaurin, but McLaurin's a smart dude. You know what I mean? He's gonna get 1,000 yards this year, in my opinion. Maybe.
McLaurin?
Oh no, McLaurin.
I hope so. Like I hope so, man. He should. I mean, he's very smart. He's a good route runner. I hope he does get it. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think? Will this team have 1,000-yard runner?
AP.
AP. Oh, okay. So, what do you feel about Bryce Love?
Bryce Love, I think he's gonna be another sleeper.
Okay.
Yeah. man, he reminds. There's a lot of players like running backs that reminds me of Bryce Love, but he's just so shifty. Maybe he reminds me of like maybe like an Arian Foster with
Okay.
with more speed.
Okay.
Because
I like
Arian
that.
Foster was kind of shifty. He was very
Yeah, he was
shifty.
shifty. Not shifty. He was shifty, and he was a dog. He was a dog.
Yeah,
And
but
his,
the thing about Bryce Love is that he never played in like I said formation. It's always spread, right?
yeah,
With
always
Stanford.
spread. Yeah.
So
Mm.
I hope, and I hope he does well. And I think if everything goes as planned, I mean, just like what we thought with Darius Geis,
Nice. Yeah.
he would be the perfect successor to AP when he's all said and done.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think he's the guy. I think he's the guy. I think the AP is going to hold on to it. I think AP is motivated. I think he has records to climb.
Yep.
So I think that's playing a part. So I think you'll get a strong AP this season. But I think Bryce, like you, I think Bryce is going to show out. He's going to do some special things this season. So yeah. So in terms of trying to think of one more question for you,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, I do have a question. It's on your podcast. So what's going on? What's going to be the next topic on your podcast next week?
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. I actually got we already played
That's
with
it.
Japan. He just like you, Wole, we got an itinerary, right? There's a
Yeah.
structure. So
Uh,
I do have a guest next week.
cool.
Um,
You don't got to put it out there. I'm just
I'm gonna
saying
put
you don't
out
got to
there.
put it out
I got
there.
like so me and my co-host RJ, we kind of planned it out a month ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that way, we ask our guests. Like for example, I asked you like a month
Yeah.
before, like, hey, like, can we hop on?
Uh,
Your availability. So that structure, like you were saying, like when you're in the beginning, it's key. So that way, in case like, oh, this person can't can't make it. No
yeah.
problem. I got like a plan B, plan C, plan D.
Of course.
You know
Of
what I mean?
course.
Like we can just
Yeah.
me and RJ can just do our thing, and then so on
Yeah.
and so forth. So
Uh-huh.
you know, like I said, those ad lib, like um, those ad lib moments where you're just like when it's flowing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, you know, it's all about like that chemistry with your co-host, and then
So sure.
yes, like now, like man, like we vibed off like Gilbert Arenas and like Larry
Yeah.
Hughes. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, believe me, bro. Like people are like, oh, Karan Butler and like Gilbert Arenas are like the best back.
nah.
No, you ain't
Nah.
see Larry Hughes for like 3 years. Like even
You
when
didn't
Jordan
see it.
when he's hooping
Yeah.
with Jordan.
Yeah. You ain't see him. You ain't see
No,
it. They ain't see Larry, man. They didn't see Larry and Gildy. They didn't see it, dude. They didn't see it.
made him.
They really
Yeah, they
didn't.
definitely. Yeah, Larry definitely made Gil a better player.
He did. He did. He definitely did. He helped the transition. He helped the transition. He really did. So we're trying to think of another. All right, let's do one more question. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know the question I want to ask. I do know the question I want to ask. All right, what's the new shoe game, man? What you rocking with? What sneaks you rocking with right now, man?
Right now, like I had a before this I had an eye appointment, so I wore my what did I wear? My Air Jordan True Blue threes,
Okay.
the Nike Air joints, yeah, from
Okay.
2016. Yeah,
2016. Okay.
bro,
Okay.
like in because I work from home, right? So
Me too.
my my shoe game is Benassi's, like Nike Benassi's. You feel me? I've been like walking around Benassi, like wearing Benassi's. Like I'll get excited. I'll get excited to go to the groceries. I put some shoes on.
Of course,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? Like,
Anytime. Like, yeah, when you take
yeah.
it, yeah.
Let
Let me
me
get
get these
fresh.
jerseys right here. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. Let me get fresh real quick to the grocery store. Let me do this move real
Yes,
quick. Oh, I
sir.
know, bro. I know this, man. I know
Yeah.
this.
So like part of like living in a DMV, even like in
Mm-hmm.
PG, you know,
Mm-hmm.
being like dressing accordingly. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
that if you look good, you feel good, like what Dion says, right?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
did great.
So like that confidence, like that swag in PG
Yeah.
County, that basically that it's a big thing for us, like here,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
no matter where you go, you're just gonna be like, all right, I need
Hold
my
it.
shoes, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or shirt, whatever, it's cool, wear a white
Yeah.
tee or whatever, but
Yeah.
shoes is like sneakers. I think it's important that you have those, even though like
Mm-hmm.
if you're not knowledgeable, it's cool. You know what I mean? We're not being
Yeah.
bigoted or anything. It's all
Yeah.
about like spreading love, spreading knowledge. You know what I mean? Like it's you know we want to make sure like we sharing like stories like what we're doing right now.
Right now, yeah, definitely. No, the shoe game is important, man. PG County, you keep it fresh. You can rock a white tee with a mean set of sneaks, and
Yes,
you
sir.
doing it. You know what I'm saying? You doing it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, those are my questions. You answered all of the questions I
Oh
wanted to
man,
ask,
those are
man.
easy ones, man. So
Because
like,
it was fresh, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to the
uh,
sneak game. I had to see what the sneak game was like,
yeah.
man.
What
Got the
happened?
Giannis. I just got the Giannis to rep Nigeria. I just got the Giannis Niger joints. So
Woo!
you know, I had to rep the color code. You know what I mean? So I
You
just
got
got
the
those.
the Zoom freaks.
Yep. The new the Zoom freaks.
Uh,
Yeah.
red. It's called the Red Night. Oh, I think those Red Night.
Niger, yeah, Nigeria. It's
Niger,
Niger. Yeah. So I
yeah.
had got those. Once I saw it, my homie, because I didn't know it was out. My homie, no, my brother texted like I was like, I'm getting them. It's official. I'm getting them. I didn't even hesitate. I'm getting them.
Is that a
You know
good
what I
hooping
mean?
shoe?
Because
Is that a
green,
good?
white, everything. Just like my little, like green, white, everything.
Do you hoop on the Zoom freaks?
I don't hoop. I don't hoop with my basketball. I don't hoop much on my sneaks. I get trash sneaks and hoop with them.
Oh, okay.
I don't like messing up smell sneaks. I'm like so it's funny because somebody hit me. I put it on a post on like Facebook. I was like, yeah, new like my Niger joints, and they said, oh man, you about to be fresh when we hoop. I was like, nah, I ain't rocking these joints to play basketball. These joints to walk around. It's
But
money, bro. We walk around these things. I go to like the Nike outlet and give me some
there you
balling
go.
shoes and be good to go.
There you go.
That's how I rock. I don't do
Hey,
the
get the hash.
if it's
The hash
130.
shoe. I feel you.
No, exactly. I don't. If it's 100, if it costs me 130, 130 up. Oh, they there to be showcased. They're not there to be
I feel you.
stepped on.
I feel you. That's a DM. It's not a PG thing. It's a DMV thing.
Yeah, that's a DMV thing. You do not want because I be hooping with folks. I'll be like, oh, you wearing those? I said, oh,
That's
nah.
cool.
They try to fry. They'll fry me with the shoes I'm wearing. I'm like, look, man, my good shoes will not. You will not on my good shoes, and I don't have time to be my toothbrush and cleaning your little marks off my shoe. I'd rather
Yeah.
have like the easy ones where I can use my toothbrush to,
For
clean
sure.
it off.
That's
You know
old
what I'm
school.
saying? For
Man.
the audience, y'all gotta know about the toothbrush game when it comes to
Oh
cleaning
yeah,
sneakers.
that's old school, man. That's how you know you've
It's
been
old
like.
school.
That's how you've been collecting shoes for a long time, bro.
Exactly.
Before Fresh Prince second episode when he was cleaning his toothbrush with the grape vibes. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
exactly. You gotta know
That,
about it, man. You just gotta know.
Wale knows.
Like,
So thank you so much, Wale, for having having the time to talk to our podcast tonight. If you want to plug in like your social media and then like your
sure.
web addresses.
Sure, I give you like the social media. Y'all can catch me at Urban Sports Team on Twitter. That's when I'm live and popping. I'm really popping on Twitter, and this is my hashtag for it. I want all the smoke. I understand that. All right, and I said that before. Steven Jackson and them had their like all the smoke podcast, but they do this for a certain other smoke. But I meant it like I want all the buzz. I want all the smoke. So anytime you want some trash talking me, if I come out with the Lakers saying the Lakers going to beat Portland, I'm throwing shade right here. So work with me right here. So when I said the Lakers gonna be Portland easy, and people would come at me and say, "Oh, after game one, oh it's over. Portland about to beat the Lakers." And I told y'all, meet me after 3-1, and y'all quiet. Y'all know what time it is, and you know I want all the smoke. So come at me.
There you go.
But yeah, tweet me there. We got our Facebook at Urban Sports. Facebook. Just search our Facebook page. Just search the Urban Sports thing. And if you want to hit me on IG, where I'm a clown on IG, y'all can hit me up at Walio 32, where
There you
I
go.
act full 24/7. And I gave y'all my podcast stuff. I ain't trying to give y'all that stuff anymore. I'm on my show. I'm on the show with Dandin. I don't care about that stuff
No,
right now.
man. Yeah, hopefully, in the near future, me and RJ can get into your shows too. So
Anytime, man. You let me know.
let,
We schedule
let
that
us
time
know.
in, man.
Let us
Yeah,
know.
I will, man. You know what I'm saying? We schedule that time in. I'll hit you up and I'll let you know, and we'll get that thing on and popping. Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is Dandin and Wole Akinso. Thank you so much from the DMV. Peace.